Hi all, welcome back to Mr. JavaBean.com Code Java tutorials. In previous tutorial we discussed about how to run a simple Java program. Now we're gonna discuss about what is a Java object and what it contains. So the reason I brought up this topic, let's assume that in your first day of your job, if your client asks you to write a program, then what are you gonna do? So you may ask several questions to yourself as where I can start to write a program. How can I start to write a program? So to just answer these questions, I brought up this topic. So usually before a client asks you to write a program, they tell us what are the requirements and each requirement are written in form of real world objects. For example, if we take a school project, so the project which we have signed up for, we gonna implement a school project. So since it's a school project, the client end up talking about the students, teachers, classrooms, etc. So to begin write a program, so first we have to understand these real-time objects. In our example, student is a real-time object, teacher is a real-time object, classroom is a real-time object. So why we have to understand these real-time objects? Because when client tries to communicate with us, they explain in form of real-time objects. For example, they would say student, they would say teacher, or they would say classroom. So they never speak about Java objects. So they always talk in form of real-time objects. So before we begin to write a program, so we have to understand what client is looking for and what client tries to explain. So what client is expecting out of this project. So we need to understand the exact requirement of the client. So then, so we are ready to write a program. So before that, so we have to understand the real-time objects. If you once understand the real-time object, it's very easy for us to write a program. Because every day we observe these real-time objects and we know different behaviors of these real-time objects. So let's list out what we got here. So if you take a student as a real-time object and for better understanding, behaviors are two different types. If you go here, real-time objects has a behavior, so it has two different behaviors. The first one is a state, the second one is a character. So if we take student as an example, let's list out the student states. So the student name is a state, the student ID is a state, the student SSN is a state. If we list out student characters, the student playing is a character, the student is listening is a character, the student is walking is a character. So these are all the different student states and student characters. So has same thing if you take a teacher got name, teacher got maybe ID. So teacher got the classes that teacher is teaching. So we can list out different states and different characters of teacher. The same way classroom as well. So classroom has a classroom name, and if it has a room number, so we can say classroom number. So these are like this. We can give different states and different characters of classroom. Okay, let's go to Eclipse and write a simple student object. So this is example we discussed previously. We have ran hello my first hello world program. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a simple student object, and so these are all the states we have seen. For student, name is a state, ID is a state, SSN is a state, and we got behaviors playing, listening, walking. So the reason I try to explain here, so we have to understand the real-time object, so then we can able to write Java object from real-time object. So the same way we can write teacher, and the same way we can write the classroom object. So once you are ready with student object, teacher object, and classroom object, so all we have to do is the next part would be we need to map each other. So how student gonna map with the teacher and the classroom? How teacher gonna have a mapping with the student and classroom? So in coming tutorials, we're gonna discuss the OOPS concept. By using OOPS concept, Java programming, we can able to map in between different objects. So now, at least I believe we got an idea where we can start. For example, tomorrow, client asks you to write a program. So start first we start listening what they are saying in form of real-time object. Then we start writing the different real-time objects. By using the real-time objects, we can write Java objects as different states and different characters. So we call all these different variables in Java world. We say these are the variables, and these are the methods. So the combination of variables and methods we call the member variables of student object.